Labohlano. So welcome to Raising Babies 101. Libitso la ka ke Carol Ofori. In studio, I've got my great audience, lady experts. Marawana ko gae o kana wa bua le rona via social media on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Fela tlhola Raising Babies 101. Ha re bone ho etsalang mo show kajeno. Se se latelang mo lenaneo la kajeno, we talk hygiene and peeing in public. Easy peasy tips on how to cut your little one's hair. We dive into the terrible twos. And finally, on the couch is Yummy Mummy L. How important is it for Batswadi to teach their little ones toilet etiquette when out in public? Your toddler needs to relieve themselves urgently. What do you do? There is no perfect solution. Joining me is Batseba Mutwa, a psychologist, and Sister Ida Bester, a nurse, to unpack this problem, as well as a welcome to my studio audience. So welcome, ladies. This is quite an interesting topic. In most cases, I've seen that parents, when children need to relieve themselves in public, they kind of feel because they're kids, they can just do it anyway. So you can just go to the bushes, just walk to the side, and you can relieve yourself there. Sister Ida?
Sure. I think we need to look at cultural side as well. How we were potty trained or how we were learned to do this toilet hygiene. So for some cultures, it's acceptable to do it anyway. But I think when we are in a big shopping mall or we need to go to the toilet and mom's listening to their little toddler's voice, Mom, if I want to go to the toilet, I want to go now. So don't tell me, Mom is busy or we'll attend to that now. I think we need to listen to our children to immediately respond to them.
So, Batseba, I want to find out from you, little ones, when they need to go to the loo, they need to go with you. What is important that to teach your child how to in the public toilet? What are the important hygiene steps and things a child needs to learn?
Okay, I think obviously what we're looking at is that you as the parent, first thing first, what are your, hygiene habits? So you would already know how which values you would want to pass on to your child. Like Sister Ida has said, communication. Everything that you do talk to the child. Okay, we're going to do this, and you explain. We need to wipe this because, there's germs and other people are using the seat, so we're going to do this.
It's true. Is there a difference for hygiene etiquette, when it comes to the loo specifically for boys and girls, Sister?
Yes, I do. Really believe there is. Boys grew up going with their dads, touching their genitals to pass urine. Where girlies go, we sit on the toilet seat. So for boys, very important to wash their hands after they have actually passed urine. So there's nothing to wipe the seat. It's not necessary to wipe the seat or for that hygiene. Where with girlies, very important to learn them, to wipe the seat. So there is definitely a difference between the two.
So what happens if I'm a single mom and there is no father figure?
That's the big problem. Usually, I suggest that the mom, if it's a single mom, take the boy with them to the ladies' toilet until this boy is big enough. Because in today's times, we've got the problem of harassing as well, and we can't allow a little boy to go in his own.
I have to ask you, Batseba, with children having an oopsie moment, what psychologically does it do to a young child?
Well, I think that's what we call dealing with shaming the child. We need to actually, be very gentle with the child and, just talk to them. It's an accident. It's okay. It does happen, And once you handle, the way you handle it is very, very important, because once you shame the child, then, the child starts withdrawing. The child, sort of like goes into themselves, and it's not easy for them to engage any longer, and they become so embarrassed, and it has a negative impact on them. Because all of a sudden, they're sort of like defining themselves as this bad child, and we can't use that language. So language is very important. So at that point, we make them understand, it's a mistake, it's only now. And you take them away, and don't embarrass them.
Now, Nurse Bester, how do you train a child on public etiquette when it comes to hygiene, etc.?
To train a child, very important, what we've just discussed now, is not to to lower their self-esteem or break them down. You make them feel important because, wow, you've gone to the toilet, you've done your thing and you're such a big girl. So I think it's very important just to emphasize that, and then the hygiene, and tell them, why do we wash hands? Germs can cause lots of illnesses. You can get STDs when the kids are getting bigger or even in adulthood because of dirty toilet seats. So, I think we need to educate them a lot.
So when you say dirty toilet seats, what would you say is the best way? I mean, most of the time, public toilets don't have a smaller seat for children to sit on. So do you put the child on the seat with toilet paper around like our moms used to do? Or what do you do? I
suggest that. Or in today's time, we get the most wonderful wipes for toilet seats. So I think all moms does have that in their bags. So just wipe, because it's very difficult for a little child to hang on a toilet seat, and that actually influences, if you look at the anatomy, to pass a stool, because when they're hanging, everything is bending and, they can't.
And are there any other more cost-effective options? I mean, some people cannot afford to buy.
I think toilet paper is then a very good
So just to wipe the seat?
Just to wipe, or even put toilet paper on the seat and sit on there.
Okay.
I think that's actually the best, because then there's no direct contact with the seat.
A child can start using a public toilet on their own. When can parents say, you're a big boy now, you can go to the toilet on your own? Is it advisable for kids younger than 5 or up to 5, or do you feel...
I won't allow my child under 5 to go alone into a toilet.
And your thoughts?
Especially a boy. I feel girls are still fine. They can still lock the door, although you've got the worry outside. Will they be able to open the door then? But for boys, sure, this is very tricky for me. Yeah.
And for you, what do you feel about that?
I think... it's not safe, even if it's above 5, because you don't know what you're exposing your child to. So I think it's always best, to have the child supervised. It's not safe at all, so I wouldn't even recommend it.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. It's clear that communication is important. And if you can get your child to go to the loo before Letsamaya, make sure you do it, because you're actually helping them out. And Letsamaya lebone. Thank you so much, ladies.
Thank you very much.
Continue to send your messages, Lady Potataha, on social media platforms. Up next, you decide. Go na le batswadi who audition bana ba bone for acting jobs le beauty competition, which is not necessarily in the interest of ngwana. Well, we got out re lo botsa batswadi on the streets gore ba nagana eng ka taba e. Ha re shebe.
Yeah, I think it's right ukuthi bayuza abantwana bakuthi basilethele imali.
I don't think mina ngazi ngimsebenzi mhlawumbe kuma competition or avele TV ni be more than njalo.
We have shops like that needs to make advertisement with kids clothing, and they will obviously prefer to use kids to do that, and there's nothing wrong about that.
Mina ni vona swi nga ri kahle ku va tirhisa vana for ku va nghenisa mali emutini.
Ai nne wanga mwana ndi nga si mu tendele ngori ndi vona ngari a zwi right kha nwana.
Okay, so studio audience, lutlile gore batho ba reng ka montle. Lona le reng ka taba e? Vote now, yes or no? Okay, well, it seems the majority say no. In studio with me is Natasha Brickman, a children's casting agent. So welcome, Natasha. What has your experience been with children between 0 and 5 years old?
You know what, we have lots of parents coming into the office to register the kids, and I promise you the kids have so much fun, and many parents want the kids to do it.
And what do you see with regards to, the whole process of registering a child? Is it quite a tedious process?
No.
How does it...
Not at all. They come to the office and I love to speak to the kids. So I say, what's your name and how old are you? And immediately you can see if the parents are putting pressure on the kids or if the kids want to do it. So when they say no, I tell the parents, listen, I think it's rather better that the child decides. Because if a child really isn't interested to go for castings, they're definitely not going to get the job. They're not going to have fun, and it's just going to put more pressure on the kids.
I know that this industry for children can be rather lucrative, and children can actually save up so much money that they can put themselves through school with this.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
I would say yes and no as well, because obviously it depends on how long they're going to use the baby on set, and is the baby a main feature or an extra, but they can earn some good money. And I always suggest to the parents, try and save it, because everything will add up.
But I must also say that on the negative side of it, Natasha, we have to talk about that. Not every child gets signed up. You can take your child through for auditions or for castings and they don't get signed up. And some parents may rely on a child bringing income for the family, which is, I would say, incorrect.
Correct.
What is your words on that?
So what I suggest to the parents is, and I tell them up front, if they're coming into my office to make money off the child, they need to walk away. Because this is not the place to make a living off your child.
How do you deal with rejection for the little ones? Because I'm sure for some of them it's quite overwhelming. Lights, camera, and all of that.
I know, it's a very difficult topic. But you know what? At the end of the day, one child has to get it. You know, and sometimes there's 4 kids and siblings, and out of the 4, only one can get it. And we just have to, what I say to them is just be happy for everybody else. And your time hopefully will come, but not every single child can get the job.
Do you ever say, cut, let baby go home, we'll try again tomorrow? Is it special, things you do for little children?
That often happens, especially with little babies, especially if it's a food product like a cereal, and then the mom tries to feed the baby on set, and the baby throws the whole bowl over, porridge everywhere. You know, it's a big mess. But guess what? Then they have to break, give the child a nap, or maybe come back the next day because the ad has to be shot. But you know what? With 2-year-olds or under 2, you just don't know how they're going to act.
And I must ask you with regards to agents, right? There's a lot of fly-by-nights. There's a lot of agents. People say they're agents, give me 1,000 Rand and I'll make sure your child gets work. What advice do you have for parents who are looking to go this route?
I always say make sure that it's a good business and it's been in business for many, many years. We've been in business 17 years. At least you can see what jobs we've done before, and they must always check. Go on the website and see what other jobs have they done before. Have they been successful? Are there good testimonials? And ask them to see the ads so that you can really see if they are legit.
Thank you so much, Natasha.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Thanks for
your
having
time and the insights. So, Lucia, the pros, Lady cons on this topic. And at the end of the day, you decide. Yanong Haruhutla from a former child star who is now a mother. Let's hear what she had to say about her experience. Harashe.
Hey, what's up, Raising Babies 101? My name is Babi Monoy, and this is a topic that's so close to my heart. You know, as someone who started out in television when I was 4 years old, to now having a little munchkin of my own who is so cute and so smart and so delightful, the question does cross my mind often, you know, would I support his ambitions of, getting onto television or getting into the media? So this is how I think about it. The first thing is the pros. The pros were incredible for me. I mean, I got to travel across the world. I got to meet Nelson Mandela, all the pop stars of with that I never ever got to have a normal life. I was always a worker. No one forced me to do this. I was very adamant, very determined, very aggressively ambitious. And so if he has the same kind of drive towards the media, then I'll have to support him, of course. And, you know, if he has the same kind of drive towards sport, I'll support him. If he wants to be an Olympic swimmer, I will wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and take him to swimming every day. I'll do whatever it takes to support his ambitions. So I think the ultimate thing is not to be a stage parent, not to drive the children into anything, but to accept what their talents are and expose them to as much as you possibly can so that they have the resources and exposure to make a decision for themselves. It's a tricky thing, this parenting thing.
Continue sending us all your social media questions and comments on all our social media platforms. We'll be right back. Mo Raising Babies 101. Muriri wa ngwana hao can grow really fast and the cost of salon visits can be very expensive. How do you fix this? It's easy peasy. I am joined in studio by Tracy Ndindi, who is a hairdresser. Welcome, Tracy.
Pleasure to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Okay, so we have this beautiful afro mo re kwa hae re batla go kuta moriri wa ngwana, a toddler specifically. Re tla go kuta jwang go partlha losetsa.
Okay, especially mawubheka inwele zomntwana ne. Inwele zomntwana like ziba ngama levels ahlukeneyo.
Okay.
Some they've got curly hair, some they've got inwele vele abana nwele totally. Like uyathatha umntwana usendlini, uyathatha isigundo sakho, bese nekam lakho, then you sterilize it. This is a hair sterilizer. You put your comb and your scissor inside the sterilizer for a few minutes just to kill ama germs. Then after that, you wipe it off with a towel. Yeah. Bese, because you know sometimes it's difficult ukuthi ungakhatha umntwana ne. Okay, sweetie pie, now we are going to cut your hair. Angithi, then uyamthatha, uyamhlalisa bese uyamfakela ama cartoon angithi. Because you know kids mostly they love ama cartoons ne. Umfakela ama cartoon, okay nana, we are going to cut your hair ne. Okay, cool.
Ayi nana no ugugile lo nana.
Okay, bese like inwele zakhena angithi uyabona ukuthi azilingananga. You start from the back when you are cutting the hair, then you open the layers, like uvule ama layers.
Okay.
Bese faka ikam lakho.
Okay.
Then you take this comb, lay now a sterilizer. Then you comb it ukwenzela ukuthi umntwana angezwa ubuhlungu ne.
Manje ngiyazi ukuthi le afro hair you have to usebenze nayo when it's wet, or so should you wet it before ukata mriri kapo ka yetsa yomme, because ke tseba afro e botlhoko thata yanong ha o ikama yomme e botlhoko.
You can wash it.
So it's a bit wet.
Yeah, or you can spray it with
moisturizer.
Water. Yeah,
or water.
No, not with moisturizer, with water. Then you dry it up. Ukwenzela ukuthi zingakusokolisi.
Okay.
Because akumelanga ukuthi mawuzikhatha zibe zimanzi. Then you take your scissors. You comb the hair. Ungamzwisi ubuhlungu phela ne.
Yeah,
like
please,
mawumkhama, you must be gentle.
Very gentle, batswadi, please. Isikabula abana.
Then you hold it like this. Then you trim.
Should I cut? Hey, please. Okay. That hair coming off.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Then you move to the next side. So yes, gamma 14.
So it's also until ufika kopeli.
Yes.
Okay, how uqedile wetsa eng?
Bese mawuqedile ne, uyabona ukuthi inwele zakhe sezi even angithi ziyalingana. Bese uyamchecka iscalp. You open like umbheke iscalp sakho ukuthi iscalp sinjani. Bese uyambheka iscalp. Mawungabona ukuthi because sometimes you find out ukuthi abanye abantwana bane dandruff and the scalp is so dry. Then uyamgcobisa like a bit of olive oil.
Okay, olive oil, yeah.
Coconut oil.
Yes. Fish oil?
No, you can't use fish oil on it.
Yeah, check. Okay.
Olive oil is good. Or shea butter.
Yes.
Bese uyayigcobisa on the scalp and leave it for 5 minutes.
Ear foot, yona?
No, you don't put ear foot. You only put olive oil, coconut oil, or shea butter. Then you leave it for 5 minutes, ne? Then bese uyamiega, mawumiyegile laphayana ne. After that, mawusubona ukuthi why do we do this? We do this ukwenzela ukuthi inwele zibe ne moisture. To avoid dry skin, so that the skin won't.
Because once it's dry, iyaluma.
Yeah, exactly. And the uzobe ezwa in ubuhlungu uyabona. So after that, uyamthatha ke bese uyahamba naye, uyamgeza. And mawumgeza ne, you don't use ama anti-dandruff shampoos.
Okay, even if ngwana ana le dandruff, how berekisa anti-dandruff?
You don't.
Berekisa shampoo efenge.
You can use shampoo engena a kids shampoo.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Like bese uyamgeza, umgeze, and mawumgeza, don't be rough. You must massage.
Use your fingertips or your nails.
You use your fingertips. Angithi lese ulele angithi la. Ulele. Then you massage gentle, put the shampoo. Bese uyamgeza Naye ukuthi
Mara most
afile
parents angithi
comfortable.
umntwana the child the head will be like this. So how would you suggest because I get how so.
Yeah, okay. Even if it's a tap in it, like the child will be sitting, then you can bend the baby just a bit. Bese uyafaka ishampoo yakho uyamassage kahle. Scratch too much, and you use your fingertips, not your nails, because when you're using your nails, you're going to hurt the baby.
Okay.
Yes. Then you massage, then you wash it, and like uzigeza like 3 times a week.
3 times a week?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
To avoid ukuthi zingabi flaky,
okay,
and zingabi dry, because the child's scalp is so sensitive.
Okay, what are your final tips or advice for batswadi ko gae on cutting wana and keeping wana's hair nice and groomed?
Okay, the advice that I can give them is they must keep the hair moisturized. Like every time mabamgeza, even mabemfuna ukumgunda, and like it's okay, they can get this. This is our detangling brush.
Okay.
Like maumgeza laphayana ne, you might as well when you put the shampoo, then you can use the detangling brush.
And how do you keep the baby still? Most of the time, if di Popeye who di sheba mu TV, how else do you keep wana hore askaba moving all over the place?
You just try and play with her, like be friendly. Hello, Nana. Okay, we are going to wash your hair. But don't mind my Nana.
Yeah.
Then you take the shampoo, you put the shampoo, bese uyasebenzisa detangling brush.
Okay.
Ukwenzela ukuthi zingabi knotted. Zingasali zinama knots.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
This is to remove ama knots.
Ama knots.
Yes. Or you can use the big comb like this.
Up.
Yes, just to open up like this. And you have to be gentle.
Gentle and soft.
Yes. Akumelanga ukuthi ube too harsh.
Alright.
Then kumele ube soft yenze kahle kahle. After that, then you can bese uyambenda. Okay, Nana, we are going to bend, then we are going to take out all the bubbles. Okay,
so the key ke gore o dule o buele ngwana and make sure the child is comfortable at all times. Okay, Tracy, thank you very much, Aleboga. And I think you've shown us some nice tricks on how to cut our baby's hair ko gae. It's time now for our baby shower giveaway. Okay, viewers, as we all know, parenting can be very, very costly. To make life a little easier for you, our baby shower segment is to shower you with gifts. This week, we have a baby hamper to give away. All you need to do is answer yes or no to one simple question correctly. Should you moisturize your baby's hair after washing? To enter this competition, answer yes or no on our social media platforms. Answer correctly, and one lucky viewer will randomly be selected to win a baby hamper voucher valued at 1,000 Rand. The winner will be announced on our social media. Best of luck. The big question for today is one that affects batsadi ba bangata, and it is the phase of biting. Tasneem Mia is struggling with this phase. Harasheb.
Hi, Raising Babies. My name is Tasneem Mia. I'm from Lenasia. I'm a single mother of 3 kids, ages 14, 12, and 4. My baby boy is 4 years old. His name is Yahya. Yahya is he's an extrovert at home and an introvert at school. So he's a very active child. He learns fast, but it's very hard for him to make friends. He's also very clingy to me, but he has a loving and caring side. Yahya is the love of my life. Compared to my other 2 kids, he shows me so much of love and affection. He actually calls me cutie pie instead of mommy. When Yahya was 2 years old, I was going through a divorce. And at that time, I needed to go back to work. So obviously, time spent with him was quite limited. So that's when I realized that he started biting kids that came home. Or if we went to a restaurant, on the playground, he would bite kids. He started biting his nails as well. And then I realized, okay, you know what? I do have a problem. And I need to deal with it. So my concern was how to deal with the biter and obviously the victim, the kids that he was biting. So what I did was, in my own way, I started spending more time with him. I started working less actually, just so that I could give him more time and attention, thinking that that's what he was lacking. But unfortunately, I just didn't win. And also to help me in a sense where he shouldn't take advantage of me anymore.
Biting. I am joined by Vanessa Mentor, who is an ECD specialist. Welcome, Vanessa.
Thank you.
So you see what Tasneem's been going through with regards to biting. What would you say off the cuff is your response to this?
Okay, I think I first want to start off by saying there's a particular phase that children go through between the ages of 1 and about 3.5. Mm-hmm. And so when they turn 2 or when they turn 3, it's a joyful time and we want to celebrate their birthdays. But the feeling of dread is there. You can't ignore it. Because first of all, no becomes a dominant part of their vocabulary and maybe hitting and biting.
It's true.
But what I want to say is these actions that these children in this age group do is not an act of defiance against the parent.
Okay.
It is merely their way of expressing their emotions. It is a way of expressing their frustration because they are looking and finding their independence. They also, their motor skills and their language skills are not fully developed. So they are beginning to develop.
Is that why they call it the terrible twos?
And that is why they call it the terrible twos. So crying the 1 minute, laughing the next minute, biting the 1 minute, hitting the next minute is the epitome of what I call the roller coaster of terrible twos.
Oh, I see. So like with my son who's in that roller coaster phase right now, I find that even when he's happy, he'll hug me and then start biting. And it's sore, obviously. So I say, don't bite, don't bite. What do parents do in that instance? Do you scold the child or do you understand that the child's just trying to express themselves?
Okay, so again, I want to take a step back. I think parents need to understand that children bite out of fear. They bite out of anger. They may have been bitten by someone else. So it's a very normal part of their development.
Okay.
But to answer your questions, parents must realize that even at that age, they need to put in place a discipline procedure. They need to discipline their child. They need to explain right from wrong. They need to provide options. They need to provide choices with little things. For example, would you like an apple or would you like a packet of pretzels? Would you like the blue dress or would you like the red dress? And it may seem like it's got nothing to do with the biting, but it's all part of what you're doing to guide them to realize. So in other words, you also need to create a routine. And slowly but surely, you'll see that things will fall into place.
So what do you do? I mean, when you get that call from school that, listen, your child has just bitten someone else's child. How do you handle that as a parent?
Okay, so you're obviously going to go to the school.
Yes.
You may have to leave work. You may not have to leave work. But you're going to have to go to school. They're going to have to tell you what happened. I always say if they call in the other parent, it's very important to have a parent conference and just talk about it. But you've got to go back home and explain the right from the wrong. You've got to say things like that when you bite someone else, it's painful, it's hurtful, it's not the right thing to do.
So you know, what happens in the case like you say you go home and you talk? Now, with that 2-year-old age, like my son, he can't fully understand. So if I can't help him in the moment to know that that is wrong, it's kind of difficult to reflect back and say, boy, don't do this. In my specific incident, my child was playing at school and they gave them all popcorn and the one kid took the popcorn from him. And in frustration, he bit the other child back. He was put in the naughty corner or the thinking corner, and so was the other child. The other child was also put in the thinking corner where the teacher spoke to the child and said, you don't do that. Was that the best way to handle it, or is there better ways, and how do we do it at home?
Okay, there's definitely better ways. Personally, as Vanessa Mentor, I don't believe in naughty corners. I don't even believe in calling children naughty. Like I said, At that age, a child's motor skills and his language skills are not fully developed. So everything they do is part of their normal development. So in that case, first of all, you need to provide as many play activities as possible for children. And because play teaches children new vocabulary that will help them succeed in their lives. But it's important to explain to children that what they did was not necessarily the right thing.
And what would you say is your final thought to get Tasneem's son to stop biting?
I think, like I said, she's got to talk to him. She's got to explain to him that when you bite someone, it's painful. It hurts someone. And I think she must just continue to do that all the time. And I think, lastly, she must try and provide as many activities as possible and not just toys. Play anywhere, anytime, with whatever you have available.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for that insight. Sisila Delang, more Raising Babies 101 on babies' health, A to Z. Kale amogela gape mo Raising Babies 101. Today's health, A to Z, ke M for morning sickness. Morning sickness, also called nausea and vomiting of pregnancy, is a symptom of pregnancy that involves nausea or vomiting. Despite the name, nausea or vomiting can occur at any time during the day. Joining me in studio is Sister Ida Bester to discuss this. Welcome back, Sister. So, Sister Bester, please tell us what causes morning sickness?
It's usually a raising in hormone levels. Or even dropping of blood sugar levels, you know, because nauseousness we all know we can experience when we are hungry, when we haven't eaten for quite a while. Blood sugar level drops, and is exactly the same happens when we're pregnant. So very important to see that you eat something every 2 hours and that the tummy is never ever empty. So everybody's actually unique, and we've got a unique fingerprint. So some can eat meat, others by just looking at meat, they feel nauseous and they want to vomit. So everyone is different.
So I remember when I was pregnant, I had morning sickness and I would have afternoon sickness and evening sickness. Why is it called specifically morning sickness, yet you can have it at any time of the day?
You can have it any time of the day. I think it's just when you get up in the morning, you've eaten your supper last night at 7 o'clock, so your tummy is empty, blood sugar levels have dropped, and when you get up, you feel that nauseous feeling. And I usually say when you're pregnant, you're in another time. You know, you're just feeling different. You just, and that's especially when we get up that we feel nauseous. So that's why it's connected to morning sickness. But you're completely right. It can occur any time during the day.
Now, I know that it can get very severe. I know, for example, British royalty, Kate Middleton, has been hospitalized on all 3 of her pregnancies because of morning sickness. How serious can it get? And is it dangerous for baby?
Not really for the baby dangerous at this stage, because remember, a mom needs to keep hydrated. Now, I think Kate Middleton especially can't even drink water, then she wants to vomit. So those moms are admitted in hospital, put on IV therapy, not to get dehydrated, and at least they get something in. And some during the whole pregnancy, the morning sickness lasts. So we call it hyperemesis gravidarum.
Okay.
So that's quite a big name.
Yes.
But it does happen to some women, and that's women who's not even gaining weight during their pregnancy. They're losing weight all the time because they are nauseous. So very important to take the right vitamin supplementations. And then I even suggest them to take it in the evening before you go to bed. Because I promise, when you're nauseous in the morning and you want to vomit and you need to take vitamins, it's even going to make you more nauseous.
All right, so let's talk about ways to treat it. I'm sure my studio audience have their own home remedies. Let's hear from them. Now, what is your home remedy?
Oh, hello. I'm Lakato. Nakwile pregnant. And it took me 2 weeks to realize it was morning sickness. Then someone told me I should use cinnamon and milk. And that did help.
So, cinnamon and milk, is that a good combo for that?
You know, I think the milk very important because milk is acting like an antacid.
Okay.
So, you know, if you think about your medication, your antacid is neutralizing the acid in the tummy. Okay. So the milk will immediately relieve For me, a better natural way to use maybe is ginger. Ginger beer, especially the moms that are nauseous all the time, to take little sips of ginger, because ginger works wonderful for nauseousness and vomiting.
Okay. I see we have a gentleman who has a question as well.
Yes, because mine is not one of the remedies, it's more of a question. Is it true that us guys could also experience morning sicknesses?
Yes, there is a very good question. Some men do experience morning sickness with their women, so they will feel nauseous. Some will even feel uncomfortable during pregnancy. So well done for that men, because I think they're considering not to put their poor wife in the situation to be pregnant every year, because now they can feel how it feels. But it is, some men do experience that.
What is it? It's like, what is it? Is there a medical reason for that?
No, it's not. It's just that you're experiencing the same feeling. So there's,
It's a shared compassion type of thing.
That's it, a shared compassion.
When is it that you have to seek medical attention with morning sickness?
Very important if you can't even keep water in. Because when you vomit, you actually dehydrate all the time, and your blood volume takes off, and you don't feel well. And if we don't eat, we can actually do harm to the little baby in utero, because to grow properly, baby need nutritious values. So I think when you're vomiting all the time and feel nauseous, you can mention it to the gynecologist. They can either prescribe something, there are medication on the market that you can take for that. My common explanation for a mom is just never ever let your tummy become empty. A very good advice is to have a cracker or a biscuit and have some fluid with that. Little sips of milk, baby, is a very good example, because it acts as an antacid. And then, never ever just starve yourself because you're nauseous. So if you're not eating, you're getting more nauseous because the acid in your tummy is actually burning more.
So, Sister Ida, as we wrap this up, can you tell us what is the number one thing that a mother who's going through morning sickness should remember?
I think she should remember the fetus or the baby in utero is the most important in pregnancy. And we also always need to make sure that this baby gets nutrition, not to starve ourselves, because brain development of the nervous system, everything is very important and is due to what we're eating. So I think we need to think that we're going to get over this morning sickness. It can only last for a few weeks. And if it goes longer, we need to treat it appropriately by eating the right foods.
Thank you so much, Sister, for sharing with us exactly how to treat our morning sickness and when to seek help. Thank you very much for that insight.
Big pleasure.
Thank you. Coming up, we speak to our yummy mummy of the day. Don't go anywhere. She is a phenomena and has a beautiful soul. We speak to yummy mummy Al Disani after this. It's time for our Yummy Mummy of the Week. She's a phenomena and has a beautiful soul. We speak to Yummy Mummy Al Disani. Welcome, Al.
Hi, Carol.
You really live up to the name Yummy Mummy. You've just literally bounced back after Banabai 2.
I didn't literally bounce back. I pushed myself to get there. But I mean, it hasn't been an easy ride, but thankfully I really enjoy the whole fitness and healthy living and all of that.
So, ki exercise kapo?
Absolutely, dijole exercise, definitely. I mean, you only have one life. At the same time, because of my babies, I don't want to deprive them of seeing me having a chocolate, because chocolate is also food. So I still go out, of the whole healthy vegetables and whatever. Once in a while, I'll have a dessert and whatnot, and they see me doing that. So it's something that I still live my life even outside of the whole boundary of let's exercise as crazy as we can, let's eat as well as we can.
So I know, Hore, you took some time out to tlhokomela bana ba gago. How important was that moment for bana ba gago?
For me, it was very important because foundation is important. My biggest thing, my daughter is first, so she is now 7, and I thank God as well that the resources are there to take the time out. It's not everyone who's able to do that, you know. Yeah, because a lot of us, and then we come back and watch the kids and whatnot. But I think I needed to be a primary parent for both me and my husband. And really, it was just a blessing that I could do that. It's important for my daughter now to see that I am still a functioning human being mother as well. So I still work and I still come back and make sure that, you know, they're taken care of. All of them, including the firstborn, which is my husband.
I love that. Now, talking about influence, influence as wrong how, because you are a strong woman, like you said, you pretty much are doing everything. Well, influence as wrong, and what are the principles to raising Muton?
Well, my biggest thing is principles-wise, we are a Christian family, so that's my background. That's all I know, you know. So there's obviously lifestyle. That's important. Bad words, those kind of things. Kids, and it's important to know and, you know, make peace with the fact that kids will not do what you say. You know, they watch you and they do what you do. Exactly. You know, so that's my biggest one. Is let me live right according to, you know, just what I believe in. You know, my spiritual life is also very important. Praying together is very important. Absolutely. Yeah, being a nice girl, nice person, you know, a nice little boy, being nice to other kids, playing nice with everyone, just being an all-round nice person to hang out with. Sure. Let people like you, you know? Not because you care about what they think, but because for you. It's who you are. You just need to be a good person.
So earlier on in this episode, and whether to how to do hair ko gai. And I know some parents opta go isa ngwana ko saloneng, but some people just prefer go ira ko gai. What are your options when you are dealing with your children's hair?
Oh no, not the options. They're both. Keep busy, and reality says that I can't always do the hair at home. Ne? So I have one lady who's always taking care of my daughter, so we know where she is. And also it's funny how they take advantage. She'll cry when I'm doing her hair, but when she's at the salon, she's fine. She's eating and drinking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we got a question from our audience. Let's hear your question, Me.
Hi, Anne.
Hi.
My name is Rofun. I wanted to know if do you encourage your children to follow your steps and be a diva like you, or you encourage them to do something different?
Diva. Oh my gosh. That's a hard one. It's a hard one. Oh, it's a hard one. And I think I'm going to get... I must answer this one right for everyone else. But passion is a very strong and powerful pull, you know, in a person's life. Yeah. So if ngwanaka o batla ba a diva, it will depend on obatla diva ko kae. I mean, you can be a diva in the office. You know what I mean? Can be a diva on stage. I think my biggest thing is that as a parent, you watch what your child's strength is.
Exactly, yeah.
And you direct and sort of nurture what it is that you see they are good at.
Now, you're a busy mom. When you work, when you travel, or how do you do that?
Yeah, I do actually take them with. That's why they are also little performers. Because they watch, they're always watching. I mean, some time back last year, a few months back, we did a show, Govenda, and I think I only got on stage Kabo to one. And you know, it wasn't abusive, I promise you. My family was all backstage and whatnot, and then they went to VIP and they were able to watch. And they love that. They love being part of the whole, you know, the journey, the traveling, the whatnot. I think it's just a balanced game, you know, are schools on now, or are we on a break and whatnot? I think if it gets to a point where both Daddy and I have to make a decision, do we homeschool them so that they can also fit into, we'd have to make that decision, you know? I love being a hands-on mother. I can promise you I'd never be able to have an office job. Yeah, because if anything happens, then I can't always be filling out leave and no.
And as we wrap up the interview, Ella, I want to ask you, how kafa, like our parents go hide some advice, what has been your pearls of wisdom that have gotten you through parenthood?
Oh, so many. My biggest thing, and I think I touched on it, is that be an example. Be an example to your kids. Don't say, uska jaing or uska bua so le batho, and then the next thing they find you screaming at your husband like you're a mad person, but you're saying to them, live your truth, live what you say.
Thank you so much, Elle, for coming into studio and chatting to us about how parenthood has been for you.
Thank you so much for the invite, Carol. Thank you.
A big thank you to all my guests that came into studio, my studio audience, and to you, Gohai. Me, Carol Lafori. Have a good one. See you next week. Welcome to Pep Talk once again for helpful tips to keep your parenting journey as easy as 1, 2, 3. Hygiene and children is a bit of a tricky topic because on the one hand, you want your children to explore and have fun, but in the same breath, you want to avoid germs and ensure they develop good hygiene habits. I'll be giving you a few tips on how to reach that balance. Number 1 on the list is to always carry wet wipes so that you can wipe your child's hands if there is no tap with running water nearby. Wet wipes will only do half the job, so the minute you get access to a tap, have them wash their hands thoroughly. You can use this Cuddle baby soap, which is gentle on your child's soft and sensitive skin. Teach your children to wash in between their fingers to make sure their hands are thoroughly washed. My number 2 tip for hygiene is around nails. Fingernails are a breeding ground for bacteria. The germs that live under your child's nails can easily transfer to their eyes, nose, and mouth. Invest in a good nail brush and help your child to clean the dirt out from under their nails before bedtime. You can also cut their tiny nails every now and again with these small and convenient nail clippers. Catch us again next time, right here on Pep Talk, for more assistance in your parenting journey. To stand a chance to win with Pep, get onto our social media pages and enter our weekly competition. You'll stand a chance to win some great prizes. See you again next time.